Hi, I'm Steph. Welcome to Thready Set Sew, my new YouTube channel all about sewing and shoemaking. To introduce myself quickly, as you might be able to tell from my accent, I'm from New Zealand. I moved to Prague a year ago. My own personal style is heavily inspired by 60s and 70s fashion. I also love bright colours and prints. So I've been sewing for about 3 years now. I posted my first projects on my personal Instagram and discovered this amazing online sewing community, which I'd like to be more a part of. So the reason why I wanted to make this YouTube channel is because I know that sewing, and especially shoemaking, can be really overwhelming and intimidating, and I really just want to encourage anyone who's interested to give it a go. I'm self-taught, and if I can do it, you can absolutely do it as well. In Czech Republic, like in many places in the world at the moment, we're in lockdown, our second lockdown actually, because of COVID-19. Sewing and creating things every day, even just for 20 minutes at a time, has really helped me cope. But of course, there are lots of other really great reasons to learn how to sew as well. You can express yourself without worrying about whatever happens to be in fashion. You don't need to feel bad about not fitting into generic shop sizes which might have been designed for a different body shape than yours. And you don't need to support fast fashion, which exploits people in poor countries and creates huge environmental waste. So for the next part of this video, I'd like to talk to you about my latest project, which I'm quite excited about. I'm wearing it today. It's the Bellflower Dress by Mood Sewciety. It has quite a 60s, 70s feel, especially made up in this orange crushed velvet. And it's quite a nice, comfortable option to wear during the upcoming autumn-winter months. So of course, like with most patterns, I did have to make a number of fit adjustments to get it to sit the way I wanted it to on me. The first one being this neckline here. Now, originally, the Mood pattern has the neckline and the front of the dress all in one piece, which doesn't allow for the curve of the front of your neck. So it did feel like it was choking me. To solve this, I decided to use one of my old favorite sewing patterns, which is right here. It's the Rowan by Megan Nielsen. It's very beaten up and well loved, as you can see. Now on here it does say that it is a turtleneck, but if you have a look, it's quite short. It's shorter than what I would call a turtleneck, so it's more like a baby turtleneck because, you know, that's what all the baby turtles would wear. But if you didn't have a turtleneck pattern to use instead, you could just cut a new neckline yourself and make sure that the band is 20% smaller than the circumference of your new neckline. In the Mood instructions, it does suggest cutting a keyhole into the back if you can't fit your head through the opening, which was something I definitely didn't want to do. The second modification I made was the cuffs. The cuffs originally were very small. I'm not sure if that was a mistake in the pattern or if they were really intended to be that way. I don't have particularly big arms, and for me, I could just get them on and I felt like it was cutting off the blood supply to my phalanges. So I widened each cuff by about 2 centimeters, and that made all the difference. The pattern does recommend at least a 60% stretch. My velvet has about 70% stretch, so it actually has more than what the fabric required, and I still had these problems. The other thing to note is that I have quite narrow shoulders. I usually have to do a narrow shoulder adjustment, and in this case, I didn't have to. So if you have more average or slightly broad shoulders, you might want to widen the shoulders before you make the pattern. Overall, I think the design is really fun. I really like the ruching up the sides and the large crazy sleeves. Now the Bellflower Dress is a free PDF pattern from Mood Sewciety, which is part of moodfabrics.com. They have an entire database of free patterns on there. I have only made the Bellflower Dress so far, so I can't comment as to how good they are. However, I did notice that the instructions were fairly light and not very descriptive, so if you're a beginner sewer, it might not be for you. Now, the fabric I used for this dress is this stretch synthetic velvet. It actually came from Minerva.com. Now, I do collaborate with Minerva. They sent me this fabric for free, but it is fairly inexpensive anyway. I think it's about £5 a meter, and it does come in lots of really great colors. So it's one that I would purchase anyway. I will put a link down below for anyone who's interested in that. I don't know about you, but I really love the look of crushed velvet. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching my very first video. Please subscribe if you're interested in seeing some more sewing and shoemaking videos. I am working on a pretty crazy Lord of the Rings inspired winter coat, so stay tuned if you're interested in seeing that. So stay safe, stay home and sew, and don't be sad if you're in lockdown like me. Bye!